Hi guys, this is General Splatton here for Splatton Studios. I have a commission that is finished. This is the Risen from the Warmachine Mercenaries unit, the Risen with Alexia Ciannor, or ever how it's pronounced. These are the troops. This is the actual Risen themselves. Going to show them to you. Now this is an example of my level 1, just a basic troop. And a little more detailed than I think most people think of when they see a basic troop. That's a basic base to me, just the sand base, then some static grass. Added in the glowing eyes because they're animated. So they've been highlighted, so there are highlights on it. It's not just a basic paint job with some wash thrown on it. But that is what I would consider my level 1, just a basic model, a basic troop choice. I think it turned out really well. It might look washed out under the lights. Let's back up the lights a little and see if that helps the color come out. Yeah, maybe a little. Client wanted these painted up to mimic Ciannor colors because that's what he was going to run the Mercenaries with, another Ciannor unit. So that's the way he wanted them to tie them in with his Ciannor force, and I think it turned out pretty cool. Really like these models. They're well detailed and a lot of fun to paint. So there's the unit itself. Let's see if I can get in a little closer, see some. I don't know how they perform on the battlefield, but they look cool. So that's a basic level 1 for me. Alright, let's move these back a little. Now, here is the knight right there that comes with it. Now, client didn't ask for this or pay for this, but I kind of did this up as a level 2, kind of like a champion. Lots of more highlights on the model. A lot of highlight and shadows on the armor, and the head is painted more detailed than the other ones. And also on the sword I did this is metallics I used, but then I used a black wash to make it look non-metallic metal type paint, and then I used blue on the metal as well to give it this effect. So I think it turned out pretty well. I like it. So with washes you can add a lot of features and details to a sword just by doing that. So he didn't ask for it, but I threw this one in as an extra. So this is be a step up from the other guys. This is kind of like a champion type level. And then finally he wanted show quality on her. This is Alexia. So that's what I've done. You can't, I don't know how close I can get, but the eyes do have highlights on them. Then I did with the hair, I was going to do it black, and then I thought, I thought originally painting her skin kind of grayish, like, you know, the effects of working with the dead and having those abilities are slowly kind of turning her undead. But then I had a thought, no, to make her contrast and stand out, what I did is I painted her up with a good kind of tan skin tone, you know, showing lots of health, but the effect that really sets off his face, I put in the white hair. That yeah, you know, there is effects that are happening to her. This is definitely taking its toll on her, and I think the white right there really sets it off and really gives you, once you think about it, study it, it's like, hey, you know, there's stuff going on. And then the cape on the back, highlighted that up. I don't know if you can see it, but this has been highlighted and shaded. There we go. There's grays. That's, the hair has been painted, so that's not just shine off the light. That it's painted that way to have those effects. Then for the base, since it comes with this base, what I did was I painted different colors for the skulls. You know, all skulls are not the same color. Using either glazes or other paints. There's some grays and some thrall flesh, and there's some sepias and blacks in there. And the boot work we see there. Maybe back this light up a little bit more. Maybe that'll help. There we go. Maybe you can see them a little better. And then for it really just showing up very, very white, but this is what I did with the white portion is I made it dirty, and it's got browns in it, a little bit of gray, to look like, you know, it was white, but it's kind of dingy now from field wear, things like that. It's certainly not as bright as the hair, even though it probably looks that way. So then I decided for, I forget what these are called, but I highlighted that up and shaded it. Figured that gave it more of a contrast. And, you know, you got the tan here, the blue for the cape, and then the clothing part be kind of a white. And then eyes on the face and highlights on the lips. I don't know how close I can get there. There we go. So this would be studio quality. Sorry for the brightness of the light. It looks more, my videos always look washed out. Then on the sword, just did kind of a, not a glow effect, but like it's starting to heat up, or the magic starting to come into the sword. It's got blues in there, like it's starting its effects. The leather there for the boots, and then the armor, those shine. That's the way it is. The armor is basically dark, but then put in some real bright highlights to make it look, I wanted, like I said, for her to look pristine, like she's very healthy and robust, but yet, you know, still the effects of her magics are taking its toll and starting to transform her. And certainly with the dirtiness and everything of the unit, I figured she would stand out more that way. And certainly I believe she's going to blend in very well with his Ciannor army. But that's her, and that's the whole unit. Like I said, there are 3 levels there. I think they turned out rather well. Now the difference you can see between like a level 2 blending job versus this is, see, these are abrupt. I still think it's a neat effect, but this is, more blending involved, more of a blend from dark to light. This is more of an abrupt effect. This is much more smooth in transition versus this, so there is a difference. So that's it. I hope he likes them. I think the unit turned out great. I really like these guys. Really cool unit, and I think they'll do the Ciannors proud. Well, if you got any questions, let me know. Really enjoyed painting these, and cool unit. Let me know what you think. This is General Splatting for Splatting Studios, and you've been briefed.